Okay, let me see if I can get up Google Maps. So, sorry, the plan was always to get the ferry to Amsterdam. And the reason for that is because it was less road distance, and with the fuel economy of the truck and the price of fuel, which was particularly high at the time that I was planning it out as well. Yeah, I wanted to do as little driving in the UK as I could get away with. So one option was to go from Amsterdam into the Netherlands, basically up north. This is not loading up very fast. Here we go. So to go from Amsterdam, so I couldn't go through Germany because you're not allowed armored vehicles in Germany. So I was gonna have to go. So one option was to go down through Belgium into Paris, well, into France. I was thinking about going through Switzerland, maybe into Italy, just to check it out on the way down, and then go through Slovenia, Croatia, all these countries. Whatever route basically I wanted to go through Europe, going that way, and then into Turkey. This wasn't my first choice. So going down that way, then basically going into Iran, and obviously things are a lot different in Iran now than they were. But one of the problems is that you're not basically apparently the government have outlawed dogs, so you're not allowed dogs in public places. And if you want to take dogs into Iran, then you have to get a certificate before you enter Iran. So you need to go there first to then take the dogs in, which is not much use if you're trying to drive into it. The other problem, well, obviously there's other problems with driving through Iran now. Obviously things have just kicked off, even more. But before the latest happenings in the world, there just, been reports of people who have UK citizenship being arrested and things like that. So there was a number of it wasn't really possible to go through Iran, and it was also maybe a worrying kind of option for those reasons. And you then need to go through Pakistan, in Pakistan there's obviously if you look at the FCO advice for it, there's a lot of areas that you're not supposed to go into. India, again, there's been some, there's been media about UK citizens being in jail in India. Apparently there's a guy that was doing a round the world trip in a bio bus who got arrested and is in jail for having a sat phone. So I'm led to believe. And then, so that's a little bit worrying. So then Bangladesh, Myanmar, then into Thailand. So that was an option. Another option, so then it looked like there was another option which bypassed going through Iran, and that was to go into Turkey, into Armenia, then into Azerbaijan, and then there's a ferry apparently over the Caspian Sea, and get the get the ferry over. So then that gets you over to, is it Turkmenistan? I can't remember which country it is. Is it Kazakhstan? Anyway, it gets you over there. But the problem is the border between Armenia and Azerbaijan is shut, so you can't get to the ferry. And there's also been stuff in the news recently relating to those countries as well, and I think some sort of conflict. So that's not an option to go that way. The other option, or another option, is to go through Turkey into Georgia, into Russia. So assuming that, obviously Russia's at war with Ukraine, or according to Russia, it's conducting a special military operation. So if they would grant a visa, then you could then assume that, I would assume that you'd have safe passage through the country. I do have a Russian friend who lives in Russia. I'll come back to me. Anyway, so I do have a Russian friend who could vouch for the fact that I'm just a regular tourist and I didn't have any ulterior motive. Whether that would help or not, I don't know. But so assuming that I got a visa for Russia, then I could have driven through Russia. Then basically go through. There's different ways you can go, but down into Mongolia, and then into China, and then into Laos, and then into Thailand. But the problem is that to drive into China, and I don't have anything against China. I do Chinese martial arts, I have Chinese tattoos, and Chinese friends as well. But it's not very easy to get into China if you have dogs and if you want to drive. So you need a temporary Chinese driving license, temporary Chinese number plates, permission from every province that you want to drive through. But the biggest problem, or the barrier, is that if you want to take dogs into China, I think possibly you need a chaperone as well. I'm not 100% sure about that. But if you want to take dogs into China, you need to put them into government quarantine for a month. And there's no way that obviously I would put my dogs into anyone's quarantine for a month. Not even here. So that means that you can't go that way. So I mean, I looked at loads of things, and just, the amount of times that I've looked at, I mean, my geography is still really bad, but it's way better than it was, because the amount of times that I've looked at maps and tried to figure out, and is there a ferry here, is there a ferry there? One of the other ways of going was obviously going up north and going up into Russia that way. But you're still left with the same issues. So if you go into Russia, you can come down. If you don't want to go into Iran, you can go up the way, you can go down through Russia. You can go, oh yeah, that was if you cross the Caspian Sea, you could go through all the stands. Or yeah, you can go up, you can go into Russia, you can go down through Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, etc. But then you're still down into Pakistan and into India. So there isn't a way that I think that we'd actually get there in one piece. So yeah, and you can't take dogs on cargo ships anymore, industrial commercial cargo ships. You can't go there by a cruise ship from here to there with dogs, because the one that takes dogs doesn't go from here. A private plane is like 70 grand or something. Which should be a way of flying without putting dogs into cargo. I did think about sailing round, but obviously you still need to stop in various countries to, to get fuel and food, and it's not really the best place to have dogs is on a boat. It's probably not that much fun for them. So yeah, when you actually look at when I decided I was going to go, I mean, there's so many different things that have kicked off since obviously the war was, the war was on between Russia and Ukraine, or Russia's attack on Ukraine. But there's a lot of other things that have been in the news since then. A lot of things involving different countries, and a lot of the countries that I would have been having to go through, they've been upgraded in their upgraded significantly in their risk levels. So yeah, that was what happened with that. So Millie sniffing at the door. So yeah, if you want to drive from Glasgow to Thailand, and you're gonna do it, then you're braver than me. And to be honest, if it was just me and it wasn't the dogs, then I would possibly say screw it, I'll just do it. But that then the biggest worry you have is the truck. If something, you get arrested for something, but it's replaceable, the dogs aren't. So yep. So that's the story with why I didn't go, and I've had several months to kind of get over it a bit now, but it is what it is. So it's a little bit scary, all the things that are going on in the world just now, and all the kind of tensions that have been there for years between different countries, and the potential for them to kick off and turn into wars and things as well. So although the climate sucks, which is why the main number one reason I want to move abroad, and I still want to move abroad. Yeah, although the weather sucks here, it's probably relatively safe compared to a lot of the world right now. So I just have to put up with the cold for a bit longer. So yep, thanks for watching this update and explanation about what happened with the Bulletproof Defender, Bulletproof camper. So yeah, I was really gutted. The amount of times that I'd mentally thought out like exactly what I was going to do to it, and I was living it for 3 months. So I'm lying there at night thinking, yeah, I'm going to put that there, I'm going to run this cable here, yeah, I'll fit this here, I'll do this here. I totally visualized all of it and had a plan in my mind for how I was going to do it. So and it was going to look cool and be just a really good vehicle for what I wanted to do. So but you've just got to make the best decision that you can at the time, and You know, I sold everything. I lived in a big house because it came with my job, and so I had loads of stuff, and I've sold everything, and now I'm kind of you know, I'm staying here, so I've had to then go and buy stuff again that I'd sold. But again, you can only make the best decision at the time. So um, it's a relief that the golf's gone to a good home, really good home. Both of them have. So and just a relief from the point of view that for me, after I've put, hundreds of hours of work into a car, I don't really want, and you know, and it's finished. I don't really then want to have to fix other things on it, you know, that will inevitably happen if you keep driving it. So just wear and tear things. So I didn't have anywhere indoors to store it either. So so yeah, I could have got more for it possibly if I'd kept it till summer, but it was probably the best thing to let it go to a good home and somebody that's going to have great enthusiasm for driving it and fixing little things that need done on it. So so there we go. So watch this space for the next car video. I've still got all the stuff to do. I've kept all my tools and things, and definitely up for doing some more car work. Taking a car that needs some work or a lot of work, and you know, turning it into a really good car. So like we did with the Golfs. So I think it would be fun to get something accident damaged, and probably a lot less work, or definitely a lot less work than painting full car as well. So so hopefully I can get things together, you know, in the not too distant future to have a car to work on and have somewhere to do it. I have also had other people asking me as recently as the day before yesterday about painting their cars. So there is also a possibility of you know, maybe doing a series of me working on someone else's car. So somebody did ask me about painting a Brooklands Capri. So and I haven't said yes or no yet. I've just kind of said, well, I kind of need to see it first. So I don't think it's seen daylight that much since it had been painted, but they weren't that happy with the paint job. So you know, they're considering getting me to do it. So I like the faith. They know that I've only painted 3 cars, so, or 2.5, because Kev helped paint the black one. But yeah, if I take it on, then I'll make sure I've got all the time I need to do it, and make sure that I do a really good job of it, no matter how many you know, how much time it takes. So I'll stop waffling, leave it there. Thanks for everyone who's supported the channel and supported me in any way, especially over the last year. And to my friends that give me a flat to stay in. And yeah, just everyone who supported me, really appreciate it. There's a few years there of where everything seemed to be wrong at the same time. What was it? One of my friends used to say, you've got your relationship, your job, your health, and money, and if everything's going well, then something's about to go wrong. Well, all of those were wrong at the same time, and some of that's obviously my fault, but the net effect is obviously not too good for you. So, and basically I left the job that I was in with PTSD. So yeah, but here we are now in Ayrshire, where I used to live before I went into the job that I was in before. And Nala is stinking. That's unbelievable. If you've never had a mini dash in, then you wouldn't believe what they can generate. That's absolutely what. Anyway, so I forgot what I was going to say, or I forgot what I was saying. Um, anyway, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, back in Ayrshire where I was before I went into the job that I was in, and I'm just going to do what I was going to do abroad, and that's just go for it, and focus on building and employing financial intelligence, not blowing all my money on fast cars and holidays. So yeah, I hope you're all well, and I'll check in with you soon, hopefully with another project to reveal.